So that is quite a significant problem. But it's the first significant problem I've experienced in this game. Bearing in mind, if you read the reviews on Steam or look at the reviews all over the place, they're pretty damning. They're pretty negative, and honestly, I think it's unfounded. Maybe not when it first came out. I'd say it was probably justified then, but now, a lot of what I've read about the game doesn't seem to be true. The G29 handling is sublime. I just realised I'm still in gear. Wonder if still being in gear would have affected pressing the enter button. Trial and error. We'll see what happens if it happens again. So if I turn the Xbox 360 controller on now, I assume the game will pick it up and will run with it quite happily. Incidentally, when you start the game, there's this black screen for quite a while. So yeah, that's picked up the Xbox 360 controller. No, it hasn't. No, it has not. No, it hasn't. What is going on? Now, the Xbox 360 controller just flashed at me. It's now marking up as it's being controller number 1. The Unreal Engine sign is up. Mouse icon is still on the screen. Everything's looking quite normal at the moment. Let's see if it works. Press A to start and we're back in. So, it seems like if the Xbox 360 controller is on and configured to be controller 1 before you start the game, then you have no issues. The issues appear to emulate or begin when the Xbox 360 controller turns off midway. Now, if there was, I don't know, a switch for your G29, a power switch, and you accidentally turned it off or you accidentally unplugged the USB or whatever happens, would the same thing happen? I don't know for sure, is the answer. I don't particularly want to test that out now, but I'm going to raise these questions with the developers and see what they've got to say about it. See if they've experienced the issue or maybe they can look into it. Who knows? Let's go into devices a second. And what I'd like to do is change which device I can select. Like interact is A there. So if I press rebind, press X on there, then button 1 pops up. Okay, that's pretty good. So if we press X and up on the D-pad, it thinks they're the same, so that doesn't make any difference at all. Use shovel is B. Cancel action. We're going to add another one in here. We're going to put circle on that. Ask for help. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's definitely... oh, it's down on the D-pad, so we'll press that and that'll be fine. Run whilst moving. Yeah, jump is X. Helmet on or off. I didn't know you could do that. Wow, goodness me. Okay then. So, camera is still set to... is it up here? Oh, it's up here. No, it's not. Where's the change camera thing? Switch camera. That's still set to button 4, which is triangle on the G29. Okay, so that all looks pretty good. Apply. The problem I'm going to have is that when that controller turns off, and it will, because like each section is like an hour long, so when the Xbox 360 turns off, am I going to run into that same problem again? Last night when I was playing, I was only using the Xbox 360 controller, so it wasn't an issue, but I can see it being a significant issue as is. Now, if you've got a wired Xbox 360 controller, that's not going to be a problem for you. I'm not sure if there's a way of stopping the Xbox 360 controller from auto turning off. Maybe that's an option. But yeah, all that really needs to happen in my eyes is that the Xbox 360 controller needs to be able to disconnect and connect at leisure, so whenever it feels like. So if I'm playing the game and I'm just about to finish and my battery runs out, I don't want to have this problem, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm going to raise that with the devs and see what they've got to say about it, really. But let's see what happens when I go continue. Will it restart me at the start, or will it start me from where I left off? I don't know. Quick sip of coffee, guys. Well, interestingly, the select option is not working on the G29, even though I just set it up to do so. Nope. Nil point. Not working at all. What the heck? Okay, let's have another quick look at that then. Options, controls. Go down to interact. It's there. It says it's working.
Did the batteries run out?
Andrew, no, the batteries didn't run out, but I have a wireless Xbox 360 controller, and to save battery life, it does turn itself off after, I don't know, 3 minutes of no use, I guess. And when that happened, it made the game freeze considerably for a good, I don't know, 10, 20 seconds, something like that. And then none of the buttons on the G29 or the Xbox 360 controller were working. Even when I turned the Xbox 360 controller back on and tried to reconnect, nothing was working at all. What I had to do was shut the... Yeah, it went to sleep, effectively, Andrew. Yep, that's exactly right. I had to shut the game down and start it again with the Xbox 360 controller turned on and set to controller 1. So it's a bit of a significant issue, and I think I'm going to hit that problem again very soon. But it's the only controller I have. So that's going to be a bit of a pain in the backside. Yep, exactly. I've never had it with another game. I've never experienced that. Farm Sim has always been fine. When it disconnects, I just reconnect it and off we go. While the games still use it in Fernbus Coach Simulator, the same thing. It disconnects and then I reconnect and up it comes and away we go. I've never had that problem before. And obviously, Fernbus uses Unreal Engine 4 as well. So certainly, it's something that the devs can deal with. But maybe they're just not aware of it. No one's told them. So, but like I said, I did have it in gear. So I'm wondering if that was maybe counteracting something. But we'll see. We'll test it out and see how we get on. ETS2 can be variable. What does that mean? What do you mean by variable? As in sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't? Of course, in ETS2 you can't get out the truck, unfortunately. But that's all I use the 364 when I'm playing driving games, is when you get out the truck and you want to walk around. It's not so easy to walk around with a steering wheel and controller as it is with a controller. But okay, so anyway, I've set interact and cancel action to work on the G29, and it 100% isn't. So we're going to have to use the Xbox 360 controller to start this.
Is engine overheating a thing?
Does this game feel like an endurance race? 100% yes it does. This game is brutal. I'm playing on the easiest level and it's exhausting.
Sometimes it comes back and other days I had to quit.
Oh, I see, Andrew, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. You're using a wireless Xbox 360 controller and sometimes it comes back and other days you have to quit. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. I've never used the 360 controller with ETS2, so I've not experienced that. But that is interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, G Cooks, sorry, to answer your second question, is engine overheating a thing? I haven't experienced it yet. I'm playing on the rookie level, so I've flipped this thing, I've rolled it, I've smashed the windscreen, I've jumped off 300-foot high dunes and landed on the wheels and not broken the suspension. But I think as I work up the ranks and start playing in the hardcore modes, all of that is going to be included. If I go into the game here, then I can show you the repair aspect of the game. So here we have the briefing. I never look at this. Oh my god, I never look at this. I didn't even know this was a thing. Right, so this is the mechanics element of the game. So if I just say Y repair all, you can see everything's done. But what we've got here is we've got radiator, brakes, clutch, gearbox, fuel tank, oil tank, electronics, suspension, transmission, left front tyre, right front tyre, and, well, just the tyres really. So all of that is the extent of the mechanics element. So overheating, technically probably not, but there is a radiator, so yes, it kind of is implemented as well. Certainly the clutch and the gearbox take an absolute hammering. That looks fab, yeah. It looks pretty good. It's not bad. I think they could expand on it, and I hope one day they will. But bearing in mind that this is their first crack at anything like this, I think they've actually done a really good job. I'm really quite impressed. I've heard that the motorbikes are awful.
This does look impressive.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I've heard that the motorbikes are absolutely horrendous, but I haven't got... I'm not comfortable enough with the GPS road book system yet. There's no way I'd be able to find my way to a waypoint at the moment. So I just kind of want to play the game, get used to it, get a bit comfortable with the controls and stuff before I start advancing into more complicated things. But my intention is to take this hardcore in a truck and then progress to being hardcore on a bike. And we'll just see how that goes. We'll see if I even get that far. So you're supposed to do something with the road book here. Max allowed to miss is 3. So you have to hit at least most of these. How many are there? Oh, I went all the way round. And by the way, I don't know if you know this in the Dakar Rally, but my belief is, oh, there's 63 points, so I have to hit at least 60 of them. Good God. Good God, this is over an hour's driving coming up here. I've got just enough time, I hope. Unless the controller turns off, in which case we might have to kill it a bit early, which would be a shame, but we'll see how we get on. Yeah, so this roadbook is basically a printout piece of paper, and they scroll it with their hands. It's just like one very long map. That's basically, it's like a treasure map for kids. And what you can see here is the highlighting. So red indicates danger, green indicates flat out, blue indicates a change of course or some relevant information, I think. I don't know if you have to use those colours in that combination, whether that's part of the instructions from Dakar themselves, or whether each individual driver / rider has their own system. I don't know, but certainly you have to go through and you mark all this stuff so it's easier for you to see. But it's a rally unlike any other. It really is. But I'm not sure what I meant to do. Maybe just flicking through it like that, it auto highlights. I'm not sure, because I always get moaned at for not doing it, but I don't know how to do it. But maybe just scrolling all the way to the bottom is enough. Oh, hang on. Hang on. What have we got here? God knows. I pressed A and we're off. So, no, you can't save it midway through. We are back at the beginning.
Start
that
on
is
sand
hardcore.
at cap 7.
Hopefully our controls are working again though. Low gear.
5,
4,
3,
2,
2, 1.
1.
Go! 1K and 200. Sand, cap 7.
Couldn't find 4th gear.
500.
God damn it, now we're
Hairpin
down
right.
back to 2nd
Deuce.
again. Okay, here we go.
Now, hairpin right to cap 121.
Hairpin right. Okay.
Three Ks, cap 121. Sand, let's go.
Back into the high gears. We're going to get a bit of speed up down here.
500, hairpin left, danger 2, downhill dunes. Hairpin left to cap 343, danger 2.
Most times I play games.
We're moving too far away.
Going the wrong way. No mod save kills it for me. The most times I play games I don't have an hour to spend on it. Yeah. Oh, or mid. Yeah, okay, nice correction. Well, you know, you say that, but
500,
honestly,
go right to cap 85.
it's that aspect. Oh, now we've got 6 gears all of a sudden. We didn't have 6 gears a minute ago. Very odd. It's the whole fact that it is an hour's hardcore drive that makes this feel so realistic. That is a simulated aspect of the game, and I think they've captured it really well. We're about to get overtaken here. At the same spot again as last time.
Right, now to cap 85. Danger 2, downhill and uphill dunes. Waypoint okay.
So the advantage to
3
going
Ks to cap
first
85. Attention.
is beyond me. I'll be totally honest with you. If you win one of the stages on Dakar,
1K, danger 3 over the dunes.
then you are
500, danger 3 over the dunes.
first to go on the next stage.
Attention,
means-
danger 3 over the dunes. Cap 82.
Which means you're doing all the navigating and you're leaving
2
your
Ks,
tracks in the
go
sand for
straight
others to
cap
follow.
82. 500, danger 3, dunes.
So it's easier for whoever's behind you
Attention, danger 3,
and a
dunes.
lot more
Straight
stress
to cap
and pressure
83.
on you. And I'm really glad that
2
you
Ks
can
and
actually
700,
see
go to
your
cap 83.
opponent's track marks. I think when I'm playing this on hardcore, I'm definitely going to be utilising previous drivers' tracks in order to figure out where I'm
500,
going.
turn to cap 47.
So I can almost completely follow this dude.
Now, turn to cap 47, dunes.
All right,
1K
co-pilot,
and
shouty
400,
much.
cap 47. Go straight to cap 64, waypoint
gear.
okay.
We've got to go around this guy, he's far too slow. Jesus, look at these.
Attention, 4 Ks on cap 64, attention.
Come on, high gear.
Continue on cap 64, attention.
64, I'm on it.
.500, turn to cap 105. Now, turn to cap 105.
105.
Danger 2, dunes. Attention, continue 4 Ks on cap 105.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a bit of
Continue
steering
on
on the
cap
controller,
105. Attention.
and hopefully that'll keep it awake. See you in a bit, G-Cooks. Scotty, I mean. Damn it, that's the first time I've skipped up on that.
Now adjust to cap 94, go!
94. It's about 94 there.
Attention, 5 Ks on cap 94.
Oh, I fixed my windscreen. That's cool.
Ks. Focus on cap 94. Continue.
Big shout out to Jimmy for giving me the heads up on
500.
the
Look
high-low
out!
gears.
Danger 2, downhill dunes.
Come on now.
Danger 2, downhill dunes. Cap 110.
He's right there, isn't he?
Three Ks and 700. Continue on, cap 110.
Again, on rookie, the opponents are far, far
1K,
slower.
cap 110. Attention, vegetation. Danger 2, vegetation. Adjust to cap 101. 500. Attention, danger 3. Uphill dune. Danger 3. Across the dunes. Downhill. Danger 3. Cap
Wow.
119. Now, turn left to cap 44.
24 on that.
3 Ks and 700. Cap 44. One K, cap 44, go! 500, turn left to cap 318, dunes!
Damn it. Missed the gear.
Now,
Turn left.
turn to cap 318. Attention, dunes! Waypoint OK. One K, continue on cap 318.
Bit of steering with the controller so it doesn't turn off. I've just realised this is
Danger
taking
2,
me back
downhill dunes, cap
not just to the
329.
beginning, not just to the beginning
Attention,
of that
4Ks
section,
on cap 329.
but to the beginning of the mini section that happened before
2
that
Ks.
section.
Continue on cap 329. Attention on marks. 500.
Because here we
Enter
are at the
valley.
canyon again.
Attention. Enter valley between
Oh,
the rocks.
crikey.
Waypoint OK. 1K. Go carefully. 500. Hairpin left to track. Danger 2. Now, hairpin left. Track. 500. Tight right. Danger 2.
I'm going to have to turn the volume of that up.
Tight right. Hole on the left. Danger 2.
That was a nice bit of track there.
3
by the way.
Ks.
Really like
Follow
driving
track.
this.
One K. Go to the dunes. Off track.
Christ, nearly went over the edge.
Now, cap 229. Straight to the dunes. Adjust to cap 236.
236.
4 Ks on cap 236.
See, I don't know where he's getting 4K from. Oh, I see it, 4.4K, and then turn 296. Oh, I see. I'm kind of understanding that now. Right,
1K, cap 236.
this is a dev quote in Steam discussion.
500. Go right
Each
to cap
waypoint saves
296.
automatically. Unlimited loads on rookie mode. Limited loads on competitor and legend. Edit. 0 loads on legend. You need to run the whole stage. Oh. 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 Ah. What? the buggery happen there then? So why
Now,
isn't that
go
loaded
right to
the...
cap 296. Uphill dunes.
That's good then, Scotty. That's good for you. Good for me as well if it had worked. So I wonder then why that didn't...
Attention, 5Ks
Stone
on
Dogs,
cap
no, this is
296.
post-release. This has had a number of patches since release date, and I've been discussing throughout the stream today that a lot of the concerns and issues that people have been having or been sort of discussing in Steam. Probably hit something there. I'm not seeing those issues. I'm driving with a G29 right now. Feels really good. Really, really good.
1K, cap 296.
The only concern or issue or disappointment
500,
I have,
go left, danger 3.
as soon as I hit this waypoint, I'll tell you,
Danger
is
3, go left to cap 201. Downhill dunes.
is the lack of head tracking.
2Ks and 700. Go
Just a
on
bit
to
of a
cap
disappointment.
201.
Looks interesting. Yeah, it's really good. Having read the reviews on
500,
Steam and such,
go right to cap 258.
I
Now,
really genuinely
go right to cap 258.
didn't have a
Undulation.
lot of faith in the fact that this was going to be a good game, but actually I think it's really
Attention,
cracking.
10Ks on cap 258.
It's captured the Dakar really well. And I haven't even tried it on Legendary yet, so I mean I'm hitting these dunes at far faster a speed than you would get away with in real life, and I'm very much hoping that on Legendary that's going to be the case. So like now, this is not a sensible way to go over a dune when you don't know what's the other side.
5Ks, cap 258. Attention.
So I just hit a bit of sort of muddy puddle, I suppose you'd call it. Hence why the truck just stopped.
1K, keep on cap 258.
So like this is not advisable.
Go straight on cap 271. Fence on the left side.
Trying to get the thing airborne, but I'm failing to do that, sorry.
Go straight on cap 264. End fence. Sand. 500. Dunes. Danger 3.
I think it looks pretty damn awesome.
Danger 3. Dunes. Keep on cap
Come on,
262.
get up there.
Ks and 600. Cap 262.
That was definitely airborne.
500. Danger 3. Go over the dunes. Danger 3. Dunes.
There you go,
Cap
look.
263.
Now that would smash
1K and 800 on cap
The
263.
truck, the windscreen, everything. The whole truck would be a complete disaster right now. But because I'm on rookie, that's not the case. I'm hoping, as I work my way out the difficulty level, that will become more realistic. But even on rookie, it's tough.
Now, go left to cap 184. Danger 2. Waypoint okay. Three Ks on cap 184.
Change
500. Go left to cap 84.
I can, Stone Dogs.
Now, go left to cap 84. Wait 500. Go right to
Whoa.
cap 170.
Hang on a second. Let me just
We're
try and get the
moving away
truck
from
back
our
under
cap.
control. Goodness me.
Now, go right to cap 170. Waypoint okay. Bump, danger 2, 700. Final, go, go! Final, excellent, congratulations.
Okay, so
We
Stone Dogs,
made
yeah,
it.
I can change the difficulty level, but because I don't understand the I don't know why that still doesn't work. Because I don't fully understand how the road book works, I can't self-navigate. So being on the easy level gives me that little yellow icon at the top, and I'm basically following that the whole way through.
3Ks in main track, keep attention.
Without that, I would be completely lost. That's the only reason why I haven't gone up the difficulty level. And I never, ever, ever, ever play a game on rookie. So that alone should show you to some degree
2,
how
1,
hard this is.
go.
And driving obviously is one part of the game, but navigating, I'd say, was probably 90% of the challenge. And I've yet to figure that
500
out.
straight ahead. 500, go left. During 4Ks, keep on a main track.
No, too early. See, that's part of the problem, is I can't figure out, oh dear. I can't figure out when I've
2Ks,
covered 4K.
keep on a main track.
Luckily that guy's just hit the same stuff we have. Otherwise he'd have gone straight past me there. Stay on the main track. Okay. I really wish head tracking was included in this. I might be able to use Head Tracker. Fantastic bit of kit. If you haven't seen my review on that, definitely go check it out. But yeah, I've got an Head Tracker device here, which Head Tracker gave to me very kindly. And for situations like this, where you need a controller to control where you look, and because there's no head tracking, the Head Tracker can actually give you that head tracking ability. You love the terrain, so do I, Andrew.
Keep going straight ahead.
It really is impressive. It's 22,000 square kilometers of totally open, totally open ground. Now, to put that into
3Ks in
perspective,
500, go left.
when I go to try the motorbike aspect of the game on hardcore, I'll have nobody navigating except me, and 22,000 kilometers of completely open space that I can get completely
now,
lost
go
in.
left, cap 91.
And I have no doubt that I will get lost.
2Ks and 700, continue on the main track.
Maybe Track IR is in development. Well, maybe. I hope so. It'd be great if it is. I'm going to have
500
to
at the house, right to
do
cap
some research.
132.
It was my first try today to see if
Now,
it worked.
go right to cap 132.
Go
Off
right.
track.
Yep. Okay.
.500, cap 85. Over the
But having head
dunes.
tracking would be great. And if I just pick up the controller and look around, I mean, you
Now,
can see
cap
how well
85.
detailed it is. And it's not over the top detail. None of the dials actually work. So it's not
9Ks,
perfect,
keep
but
on cap 85.
you know, it's pretty close. And the only other criticism I have about this is if I have a terrible crash, you'll see that the amount these guys lurch forward, in my humble opinion, is not enough. They move a little bit, they move in the right direction, but I think, for example, if I have a big smash here,
5Ks, attention, dunes.
see,
Danger 2,
it
cap
looks too
85.
gentle to me. I think they should be flung about quite a bit more than they currently are. You think you understand the direction marker finally? Which one? The yellow one at the top? Or the real one? Let me just... 1 second. Let me just tab out and turn that speech up. It's too low. The benefit of having this speech system is that when you type something, it will read it to me, and I don't have to take my eyes off the road to read it. And that's
110 miles, you go to a heading of 88 degree.
in 110 miles. Oh, okay. In 110 kilometers, 110.85 kilometers, I will need a new heading of 88 degrees. Yeah, that makes sense. And looking at the pictures, I'd say we're going to be going over bumpy dunes, which are dangerous to level 2. And I think level 3 is maximum. And DN, I believe, stands for dunes. So yes, between us, Andrew, I think we've just cracked that.
Danger 2, cap 88, waypoint, okay.
Mostly thanks to you, I have to say. And the only reason I know the other bits is because I've done the
500
tutorial and it
towards
tells you.
Tracy.
AMS
Track.
91 degree.
But the thing is,
Towards
now this
Tracy.
is
Track
where
on
I'm
cap
struggling.
91.
This is where I'm struggling is, how
4
do you
Ks.
know?
Go ahead on track.
How do you know when you've travelled 115.94 degrees? And I'm thinking, I don't know if that thing up at the top. So 115.94 at the top there, underneath the navigation system. Maybe when that gets to 11594,
2
that's when I
Ks,
turn.
keep on track.
So I was going to say any second.
Next to your speedo.
500 towards track.
I was going to say any second now. 11594. No, he didn't say it, did he? So
To
that's
the
not
left
it.
of it.
Cap 130. 1K. Go right to cap 220.
Unless it does seem like that's what's happening, but he's behind. I think maybe that's what's been confusing me, is when we hit 115.94, he didn't then say change direction or whatever. He waited until we were about 116, 117
Now,
or something.
go right to cap 220.
And Boyle, how are you
3
doing?
Ks on cap 220.
To the left of my speedo. To the left of my speedo. Do you mean down there? Oh, I see. Sorry, on the heads-up display. Oh, okay.
1K. Turn
Total
to cap
kilometers.
189. Follow traces.
Could be that. Yeah, you're right, actually. 119.95.
Now,
Yeah.
cap 189.
Okay.
Follow traces.
Okay. I think you've cracked it, Andrew. I think you're right.
4 Ks. Go ahead. Traces.
So at 123 kilometers. Oh, that's so interesting. So then, it kind of blows my mind a little bit because,
Yup, that's how you know your distance.
so what we're saying here effectively is, you see how I'm driving on the
2
tracks?
Ks. Stay on traces.
If I, for example, went off these tracks, I took a shortcut or did a bit of a round robin or something, then my total kilometers would still go up, but I'll have added 1 or 2 kilometers. Does that make sense? Is that what we think is going to happen? I'm not sure if I explained myself particularly well then.
500. Turn left to cap 126.
So 123.96, as soon as that goes 124, then we're turning
Turn left to
126
cap
degrees.
126.
Got
Off
you.
track.
Okay. So I understand
Recon self.
how that works. But then I wonder then, is that total kilometres distance from the start point, or is it distance driven? I think that's the only thing I'm struggling with at the moment. 'Cause if it's
500.
like
Danger 2 on vegetation.
miles covered, then getting lost or going the wrong way or having to turn around and go again
Danger 2 on vegetation.
is going to add
Cap
distance,
130.
and that's going to make it quite tricky. Oh, I don't think so, chaps. No.
4Ks on cap 130.
Head a bit off course and see if the route updates.
Head a bit of course and see if the route updates. Okay, let's do it.
2Ks. Keep on cap 130. Attention. We're moving away from our bearing.
So 129 we're on now. 130. And at 130.53, it's meant to change to the next one. So we've gone past that point. It hasn't updated. So then if I turn around and go back and try and fix the mistake that I've made, we'll see if it stays at 132. And then we'll be out of sync with the road map. So
Back.
it's a good test. Total kilometers is still 133. We're heading to the waypoint. It's 134 now. So we should be on the third waypoint down.
So you have to go to the correct bearing.
Now, turn to cap 92. Danger 2.
So that could explain then, that could very much well explain why
3Ks on
everybody
cap 92.
thinks that the co-pilot is out of sync with what's going on. He's not out of sync with what's going on. Oh, hang on, it's gone back to 132. So it's reset itself.
500. Turn
I wonder
right
if that
to cap
only happens on rookie.
178. Ruins.
I wonder if on a harder level it would work
Now,
as
right
we've
to
sort
cap
of just tested there.
178. Ruins.
And it only resets itself because we're on
500.
rookie.
Right
I
to
hope
cap
that's the case.
270.
But that would explain why so many people are kicking off and saying that the co-pilot is not
Now,
giving the correct
right to
commands
cap
at the correct
270.
times. Whereas in actual fact, they've gone slightly off course and they've added distance. Oh wow, all those tracks just disappeared. That's a bit of a
3Ks
shame.
and 300. Keep on cap 270.
I was highlighting how cool that feature was earlier and then they just vanished right in front of me, which is a bit disappointing.
500. Go ahead to cap 251.
Hold on, what's that way up top?
Go ahead to cap 251.
What's what way up top? The little yellow WP icon.
Attention, dunes. Danger 3. Cap 249. 5Ks.
What are
Keep
you
on cap
referring to, Andrew?
249.
There's a distance up top.
Yeah, the
2Ks. Attention on
I think
cap
the distance up top
249.
is a repetition of the one that we're talking about down below. As I understand it, that's only visible on rookie mode. So as we go up the rankings, you won't see that at all. So we'll be 100%
2Ks.
reliant
Attention on cap
on
250.
either the head-up display or I don't know where else the kilometers
500. Turn left to cap 195.
are tracked. Is it maybe that little red counter in between the wheel there?
Now, turn left to cap 195.
It's difficult to tell, isn't it? I need to do some more research, I think, on the complexity of the game. The tutorial is good, but I did find it to be a little bit limited.
195.
I mean, all the questions we're asking now were not covered in the tutorial, and that's kind of what's left me a little bit sort of space cadet-y. That's why, I mean, we sort of discussed and figured out all the stuff on the right on the road map, but how that coincides with
500
what the
dunes,
truck is actually
danger
doing,
2.
still not 100% certain on it.
I think
at
you're
the moment.
close to the idea.
Yeah, I think we're close,
Danger
definitely.
2. Attention, cap 212.
And like I say, because we're on rookie mode, maybe that's
Dunes,
resetting
danger
the
3,
counter,
cap 208.
which I didn't know it was doing that until just now, so we just tested
500,
it.
across track.
So
Go
that would have
straight
been
ahead.
confusing me as well, because 1 minute the road map and the distance travelled
Go
don't
straight
tally,
ahead, cap
and then
210.
it does. It's a bit confusing.
500, off track, danger 2.
Maybe I should have just gone for hardcore. I don't think so.
Now, danger 2, cap 192.
We're in
3
third
Ks
place,
and
guys.
700, cap 192.
I'm going to have to actually put my foot down and try and catch these guys up. So you'll see that when we come
1K,
into this, it
attention,
auto slows me
speed
down to
zone,
30.
Now, speed zone 30.
And now it's taken over the controls, so I'm not steering
PC,
or anything now.
control.
I'm hoping in the hardcore modes we'll have to do all of that. Obviously you'll get a penalty if you're speeding, you get a penalty if you hit somebody.
500, finish speed zone.
Maybe
Turn
hardcore
left
to
to cap
see difference.
118.
You like Fortnite?
Andrew, yeah, maybe hardcore to see the difference. I think I might, maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
Finish speed zone. Left to cap 118. Off track. Go! Go!
Not paying attention, turning left,
500. Turn right to road. Tire.
mind the rocks. So we're turning onto the road, round the tyre. This is where the game quit out last time.
Turn right to road.
Sorry,
Stay on the road during
some
6
coffee.
Ks.
Indeed.
get a dry throat. Leroy's, hello there. Do I like Fortnite? I've got to be honest, no I don't. I'm a PUBG man. I don't think you can play both. I really don't. Unless maybe you're under the age of 18. But I think if you're over 18, you probably pick one or the other. I could be wrong, but me personally, I'm a PUBG man. For good or bad.
Now, go right to off track on cap 195.
Turning.
1K.
Oh, there they are, look.
Danger 3.
Oh, look, they're failing to get up the hill. Let's drop down to the lower gears.
Dunes. Danger 3. Cap 228.
I'm going to go first place right now. Oh, that's a big drop.
Attention.
Oh,
8 Ks on cap 228.
so my co-driver there was about to tell me not to smash the truck up. Wow, coffee time. But if you guys go and sort of read some of the Steam reviews and then, you know, watching it now, they don't seem to add up. I agree there are a few bugs. It was probably worse at release. But right now, if you read the reviews on Steam, you wouldn't touch this with a barge pole. But here I am, sat playing it on a G29.
1K.
Having a
Left to
great
cap
time.
143. Danger 2.
And I haven't even got to the hardcore stuff yet, which is going to be way more challenging. And therefore,
Now,
more fun.
left. Cap 149. 1K. Attention. Step down. Danger 2.
Step down. Oh, okay, that means it drops and then it
Danger
drops
2.
again.
Step down. Cap 138. Bottle Canyon. Waypoint. Okay. To K's and 800, follow Canyon.
Follow the canyon. Use the Xbox
500,
360
follow
controller a bit.
Canyon.
Oh, look at that rock right in the middle. Trying to catch me out. Nearly did as well.
Follow Canyon on cap 232. 2Ks and 300,
Notice there
follow
was a
Canyon.
pilot update end of last month.
1K, follow Canyon.
Yes, that's the most
Attention.
recent one.
500,
There's another one
cap
today, I think, or
201.
yesterday. Excuse me.
Follow Canyon on cap
may have misread
201. 500, danger 2,
It may be
follow
the same one
Canyon.
you're referring to, but yes, there has been one.
Attention, danger 2, follow Canyon on cap 229.
Do
2Ks,
love driving through the
follow
canyons.
Canyon. Attention. 500,
Look at the sea.
Zamora Beach, go left to cap 139. Sand.
I wonder if you can actually drive in the sea. Should we try it? Should we see what happens? Yeah, you can. That's cool. I'd be nervous to go too deep because I think we might get stuck. But I mean, that's up to the windows. That's deep enough for me.
Before beach, go left to cap 139.
Does the truck
Waypoint,
gain
okay.
damage along the way? Are repairs simulated also?
Nicholas, yes, the
7
truck
Ks
certainly does get
along
damaged
the
along the
beach.
way.
Attention, sand,
Earlier on in the
fast
stream,
track.
I was driving around with a smashed windscreen, half damaged gearbox. I think the radiator had taken a bit of a pounding. It wasn't in the best
5Ks,
state. I'll just
attention
quickly
to
show you
speed.
the.
Continue along the beach.
So you can stop the truck. Possibly you don't know this. You can stop the truck in this game if I put the brake on. And you can actually get out. And I haven't shown anybody this, but if there was another vehicle here, we can attach a tow rope from our vehicle to theirs
So,
and sort of
let's
tow
keep
them out
moving.
and you know, help them if they've flipped the truck or whatever. But if I go to the damage aspect, you can see that you
no
can
time
repair
to
this
stop and
stuff
smell
on the
the
way.
flowers.
And the electronics are taking a bit of a beating. The transmission is unrepairable. I didn't spot that earlier, so that's knackered completely. I'm not sure if that's because I'm now using manual gears and that's referring to automatic transmission, or whether or not I've just bust the transmission completely, I don't know. But we're on rookie anyway, and on rookie I think this is a lot more forgiving than it would be. And if you look in the top right hand corner, I've just noticed this, it says radiator leak repair, brakes replacement, clutch replacement, gearbox repair. No, I thought that was a highlighter message. But yeah, Nicholas, it certainly does take damage, and the more hardcore level you're on, the more hardcore the whole thing becomes, I imagine. I've got to say, the controls on the character are really quite clunky. Not a fan of that at all. And you can't drive off and leave the guys. He still gets in the truck. No matter how many times I try and leave him behind, he always manages to get back in. Quick question, does the water from the sea splash up on the windscreen? Oh, well that's a fail right there, isn't it? The windscreen should be covered in water. Okay, well, I highly don't recommend this game now because it doesn't have that one feature. Obviously that's a joke. But I would like to see that, truth be told. If you can drive in the sea, it should be splashing water up on the
500,
windscreen.
sand, danger 2. Sand, danger 2, cap 158, along the beach.
So I've got a little bit under an hour to complete this. We're over halfway through, so there's a chance I will be able to do it.
Towards dunes.
Oh God, look, I've got to go up that thing. Oh no, I've missed the
Towards
waypoint.
dunes on cap 158.
Just
Sand.
caught it in time. Here we go then.
500, danger 3, up and downhill dunes.
power these trucks have is astounding. One thing I haven't noticed, which is quite
downhill
odd,
dune. Go to cap 157.
and I don't know if you guys know this or not, but in the Dakar Rally,
3K
there are a whole bunch of different classes, if you will. Motorbikes, I think, are limited to 450 brake horse, something like that.
1K.
The trucks are limited to,
157.
I don't know, 160. I don't know what they're limited to.
Traces.
But there's lots of limitations and stuff for all the different classes and all the
traces.
vehicles to try and keep things competitive. But
3Ks on
one of the
sand
things
track.
that I haven't seen in the game yet, might be there, and I just haven't seen it, is four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive cars.
1K after the house, go left to off track on cap 45.
Okay, turn left after the house to 45.
Now
Drop
go
a gear.
left to cap 45.
I'm doing
Sand.
it, dude. Doing it. Stop shouting.
2Ks on cap 45.
So
Attention,
if you go
off
for
track.
a two-wheel drive car, you actually get some benefits.
500.
You can have
go to
higher
cap
suspension.
38.
The car is obviously lighter because you're not running four-wheel drive.
Danger 3. Uphill dunes on cap 38.
But I haven't seen any reference as yet to four-wheel or two-wheel drive settings or
500.
controls.
Turn to cap 20.
Oh, God, I missed a gear. So I don't know if that's included in the game or not. I hope it is. We're not going to get up here, are we? Oh, we are. Unbelievably, look at that. Or maybe not. No, we're
So
not.
actually this game is not that bad. I saw this game a couple weeks ago in Steam, but the reviews were killing it, so I didn't even bother touching it. Maybe in the next sales I'm gonna get this.
Nicholas, I think that's exactly right. I think that's what I've been saying or trying to sort of convey throughout this whole
We're
stream
moving
is,
away from our bearing.
you know, when it released, I'm sure it was absolutely flipping awful because everybody said it was. But now that they've had an opportunity to, my God, this is the hardest one I've driven up. I'm really struggling here, guys. And it's on rookie. Look at this. They've both failed as well. Good God. Okay. See, now this is going to add kilometers to my kilometer meter and screw up my my map, essentially. Right, let's have a proper crack at this. Come on, truck. We are so close to getting to the top here. It's not doing my clutch or my gearbox any good, but we are getting up.
Now, turn to cap 20, towards antenna.
That was hard. No kidding. That was tough. So, Nicholas, yeah. I agree that the reviews on Steam
500,
are very
left,
damning of this
follow
game,
track.
but actually it's pretty flipping good. I'm really enjoying it. I haven't tried the
Left,
motorbikes yet.
towards
I've heard
track,
they're the
more or
worst
less
thing.
visible. Cap 352.
But in order to play on the motorbikes, I kind of feel like I need to know the game inside and out a bit. That's not to say that those reviews weren't accurate when the game first came out. I just think they're dated now. And if you look at Steam at the moment, you'll see
Attention,
that
7Ks, follow track.
the recent reviews, oh, that's me off the edge. The more recent reviews are actually quite
Think I'll
positive.
get on sale as well.
Scotty's going to get it on sale as well. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad, you know, guys, because this game was donated to me effectively in order to better promote the game and let people see how good it really is. And I was a little bit skeptical, but interested to see. And yeah, I mean, That's exactly the result we're looking for. I looked at the Steam reviews. I thought this game was
500.
dead and
Keep going
buried. I
straight.
thought it was just going to disappear into oblivion. You guys have read the reviews. You chose not to purchase the game because, you know, everybody's so negative about it. But
3Ks.
actually,
Track.
this is a bloody good game. It's a really good game. And for their first attempt, I've got to say, they've done a really good job. Using the Xbox 360 controller to drive,
Yeah,
it's
those
pretty
reviews
bad.
are quite unfair for the current state of the
500.
game
Go
right
ahead
now,
to
it
track.
seems. And is such a pity because there aren't many games like this in the market, if there is even another one.
Keep going straight. Main
Absolutely,
track.
Nicholas. I couldn't agree more. My hats
3Ks.
go off to the
Stay on
developers. This is a really good attempt. I don't know what it was like when it first came out. Let's just agree that it was an
1K.
absolute pile of
Keep
trash.
straight ahead on track. Rocks
What
on
they've
right
done
side.
since then, if that is the case, absolutely outstanding. I'm having an absolute blast here. This is a real challenge.
Keep straight ahead.
The only thing I want is head tracking. That's the only thing I want.
5Ks.
More than anything else.
Continue on main track.
Maybe I'd like the dials in here to move as well and be animated. You know, if they're going to be in the truck, then make them do something, otherwise get rid of them. I don't think I'd notice if that set of 4 dials on the left wasn't there, but I certainly noticed that they don't do anything, if that makes sense. Maybe that's on the cards, maybe it isn't, I don't know. But certainly after this little experience, I'll be looking to learn more about the game and the
1K,
future potential,
continue straight
or the
ahead.
future roadmap that the
Continue straight
developers
ahead
have,
in main
etc.
track. 1K. Go right. Off track.
1K, go right off track, got you.
Now, go right to off track on cap 61. Waypoint, okay.
61. I'm starting to get used to it a little bit now. The navigation. Kind of know what's expected of me and when.
5Ks, off track. Keep on cap 61. Towards dunes.
I think I'd struggle a hell of a lot if I didn't have a co-pilot with me though.
3Ks, towards dunes. Cap 61.
Certainly don't think I'm ready to go full hardcore
500.
on a motorbike.
Attention, dunes.
and do
Danger
it all
3.
myself. We're not at that point yet.
Dunes. Danger 3. Attention. Cap 62.
I'm paying attention.
VR would be
5Ks,
awesome else and
cap
could make
62.
the experience way better.
Oh, Nicholas,
Have you
VR.
tried the multiplayer yet?
VR makes everything better. Have I tried the multiplayer yet? No, I haven't actually. But I am thinking of streaming this again tomorrow. So
3Ks. Attention. Cap 62.
a couple of things I've been asked to try. And, you know, I can add multiplayer to the list of stuff to try, certainly. There's also, I haven't shown you this, but there's also a whole bunch of like mini games that you can play, and
500.
challenges and
Danger
stuff.
3. Up and downhill dunes.
On a recent review it says skip rookie and learn navigation the hard way. Do you know what? That's probably right. And in almost every single game I've played in the last 20 years or whatever,
Danger
that's
3.
exactly what I've
Up
done.
and downhill dunes.
But this
Cap
one is
65.
really daunting.
Attention.
It's not so much the navigation that's daunting, it's the sheer expanse of
3Ks
the
and a half.
landscape
Attention to cap
and the
65.
lack of landmarks that you can sort of rely on to make sure you don't get lost. I mean, maybe it would be fun for you guys to watch me get lost in the middle of a desert. I don't know, but I just felt like today at least, this
500,
really is the
Follow
first time
Valley.
I've played this. Today at least, it
Follow
made
Valley
sense.
on cap 39.
It made sense just to keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid, as they say. But yeah, Nicholas, I agree. VR would make this astounding. One thing it would really do is when you're going over a dune and you're looking over the edge, you'd get a real sense of height and distance and
8Ks.
danger.
Keep straight through the valley.
I do love driving through the valleys. It's a lot of fun. Through the valleys, as they say in Wales. It looks so good. It really does look like a truck driving through sand dune valleys. It really does. Give you a couple of different camera views, guys.
500 uphill dunes. Danger 2.
A lot of people don't want to drive first person like I do, so to let you have some external
500
cam stuff.
hairpin right to cap 182.
If I can get up the hill, we'll do hairpin right. Thank goodness for Jimmy Daly and low
Now,
gears.
hairpin right to cap 182.
Hairpin
Waypoint
right.
okay.
Here we go.
4Ks, cap 182.
Look at the view here. Whoa, 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 whoa.
2Ks, cap 182.
Hey,
Golden Eagle,
500.
how you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
Watch out.
Nice to see you
500,
here.
onward to the valley. Onward to the valley. Waypoint okay.
Back into the valley. Do like the valley. Do I have a 7th gear? I have no idea. I probably do, you know.
3Ks, follow valley.
I need to get a new shifter, one with more gears on it. 6 is just
1K,
so
danger 2,
90s.
on the valley, go left. Danger 2, on the valley, go left, cap 165.
pretty much
8Ks,
lost the truck
follow
there.
valley.
Got a bit lucky. If I wasn't on rookie, we may have had an issue then. Oh, looky, looky. There's an opponent. Oh my god. It's not easy to steer down
4Ks,
here.
get ready for hairpin left.
Hairpin left. Maybe I ought to look where I'm going. Pulling away. What's kind of cool
500,
is
get ready for hairpin left.
the screen that we're looking at is actually filling up with dirt and dust as well.
Now,
I've not
hairpin
spotted
left
that
to cap
before.
50.
Not sure if it self-cleans or not.
Go forward
There's
to
a
cap
porta potty
46.
there, do you see
Fence
that?
on right side.
Wouldn't that be great if you had to like actually stop and have a pee? If I mean that's really taking it
3Ks,
to the next level, isn't
cap
it?
46.
Having to stop for a sandwich, get your water rations. That would be fantastic. Because obviously, you know, the Dakar Rally is not just a test of
1K,
Mechanical
turn left to
All
cap
stages
350.
breaking point, but also human. Scotty, I'd say most of the
Now,
stages
turn
are
left to
an
cap
hour or
350.
thereabouts. They do vary. They're not all exactly the same, certainly. But then there are some specials as well, which are really short, like 20 minutes maybe, something like that.
7K.
But I
keep
was
on cap
halfway through saying
350.
earlier, there are also Oh, it's getting dark, look. There are also some additional mini games,
4K.
like Treasure Hunt,
Stay on cap 350.
which basically, I think, are a good way to learn how to use the map. So there's some treasure hidden in the desert and you have to go find that waypoint. I think that's kind of like a tutorial, but it's not implemented like a tutorial. It's actually like a little mini side game or something.
500. Danger 2. Turn to cap 342.
Christ, look at this.
Danger 2. Go to cap 342. 500. Cap 356.
It's one position we've just taken back.
Adjust to
And I'll
cap
turn my headlights on.
356.
Ah, there we go.
500.
Lights on.
Danger 3. Downhill
Look
2.
at this. Some significant driving going on now. Get up there, go on.
Now, right. Danger 3. Downhill dune. Cap 81.
I'll be looking forward to playing this when I have to be a bit more
Finish
careful.
line. Go,
Is that it?
go,
We've done it.
Go!
Woohoo!
Final.
Stage
Good job, buddy.
completed.
Wow. Not easy.
Getting an Oculus Rift
Nicholas
in a couple of
says-
months. Any recommendation/tip/advice for someone getting into it? I've
You've already watched my video.
Your video BTW.
BTW. Nicholas, what? Make sure that your PC system exceeds the minimum requirements, because minimum requirements are great on the Oculus Rift. They're really low in comparison to alternatives like the Vive, for example. But just because you reach the minimums doesn't mean you're going to be able to play every game. That's what I discovered. I had a GTX 970 before my 1080 was installed, and my 970 was brilliant for many, many, many games, but I did have a number of issues with it. Sometimes some games wouldn't play at all. Some games the FPS would be too low and it would be uncomfortable or horrible to play. Some games kind of worked, but not all the time. And upgrading to a GTX 1080 Ti, a lot of those issues have been eradicated. So probably my first tip would be make sure you've got a system powerful enough to run it at a very high level. Secondly, you're going to need a lot of USB ports. A minimum of 2 USB 3.0 need to be free, and it does drain a lot of power from your system. So be aware of that as well. If you have a lot of devices plugged in, you're going to start running into problems. I am here. I get shutdowns all the time. My cameras, reason why I don't have a camera on my stream is because it quite often starts shutting USB devices down left, right and centre. Sometimes I lose the G29. It's a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, just make sure you got enough USB ports, make sure you got enough power, and make sure that your PC graphics card and CPU are above the minimum requirements. That would be my advice. You can run it on minimum requirements.
The
I
Tobii Eye
did.
Tracker 4C gives a decent experience but is very limited in games.
The Tobii Eye Tracker 4C gives a decent experience but is very limited in games. GoldenEye, I've contacted Eye Tracker directly a number of times and asked them if they would provide me with the device, even just a loaner that I can send back to them
How would you think
afterwards.
there would be any problems
haven't
with the
let me yet.
GTX 1060 with VR? Thanks for your videos and keep up the great work.
Do I think there'd be any problems with the GTX 1060 with VR? Thanks for your videos and keep up the great work. Well,
Is
thank
there
you very
weather in
much,
this
buddy.
game?
Wow, lots of questions. GTX 1060 I think you'll be okay with for the majority of games. Maybe not all VR games. But yeah, I think you'll be okay with the GTX 1060.
I run my games on a 6GB 1060 and test runs pretty much all games I throw at it.
There you go. Andrew just backing that up. Thank you very much, Andrew. Yeah, a 1060 should be fine. I think a 1060, because that's the next gen stuff, isn't it? So, yeah, you should be all right with that. Well, it's not next gen now, is it? It's old gen. The 20 series, the 2000 series is the new next gen. Scotty, yes, there's weather in the game. There's nighttime in the game. There's damage in the game. It's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good, and I haven't really experienced most of it, to be fair. Stage completed without penalties. That means we hit every single waypoint. We are first by a good 6 minutes.
1066 GB is fine for VR. They have a custom one for that.
Zotac. There you go. Cool. 1066 gig is fine for VR. Yeah. I think a 960 is the recommended minimum.
Great,
I was running a 970 and that was 80%
I think my PC
fine.
is good for it. It's a water-cooled Ryzen 1800X, 16 GB of RAM at 3000 MHz, an ASUS GTX 1080 and an SSD, plenty of USB ports and an 850W Corsair PSU. Didn't know of the power drainage. But any tricks you learned the hard way of the whole VR world?
I tell you, the biggest trick I learned the hard way was I bought a PCI extension for USB ports because I was having so many issues with that department. And the Oculus Rift, supposedly, quote unquote, won't work with all PCI Express expansion cards. Now, I'm not 100% sure I agree with that, but I bought the one that they said it would work with after buying a different one, which didn't work all the time. Installed that and had exactly the same issues, even though I was using their drivers and everything. The biggest immediate change that I had was uninstalling the PCI Express drivers completely and letting Windows update their own. That fixed 90% of my problems. Just doing that one trick. So I highly recommend, if you're going to buy a PCI Express expansion card, which is a good idea, by the way, I highly recommend that you let Windows install its own drivers.
requires a 600W, so you should be fine on everything else.
1080 requires a 600 watts, so you should be fine on everything else. There you go. I'm running an 850 myself, 3.4 gigahertz processor, and I think my RAM's a bit slower than yours, something like 2800 or something like that. But I've got 32 gig of RAM, so I think you'll be absolutely fine there, Nicholas. I don't think you're going to have any problems at all. One other thing I will say is the cables on an Oculus Rift are quite long, but they're not that long. So depending on what your room setup is, you might not want them dangling sort of around by your feet. If there's a way of putting them up high, maybe round the back of a bookcase or something and hanging off the top, that helps a lot. But there's a lot of extension cables that don't work, or seemingly don't work, with the Oculus Rift. I've bought so many different cables trying to get this to work, and on my 970 it failed every single time. HDMI extender, USB 3 extender, everything I tried failed. As soon as I put my 1080 Ti in, used the same cables, now it works fine. So there's something going on there. I don't really know what it is. I'm thinking it's something to do with the power, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It could just be card limited, but I don't really know. I don't really know what the answer is to that particular issue. But if you Google extension cables for the Oculus Rift, you're going to see a lot of people with a lot of different systems having different solutions to the same problem. So if you're going to do that, try and find somebody who's got exactly the same graphics card as you and just do what they've done.
I game at 1440p, but my 1070 Ti struggles to get 60 FPS sometimes.
You game at 1440p, but 1070 Ti struggles to get 60 FPS sometimes. Yeah, That doesn't surprise me. For Oculus Rift to be really smooth and really tight, it needs to be hitting 90 FPS really. That's what they say. 90 FPS is your target. But I've played some games where it dips below that quite a lot, especially on my 970,
HDMI is a
and that
strange
was okay.
technology. You need powered extensions.
Yeah, HDMI. Yeah, I agree with you, Andrew. That's the. If you ask any professional, anyone who knows what they're talking about, and I don't, that is exactly what they'll say, and that's the advice I followed. So I have a powered HDMI extension which doesn't work, and I have a non-powered, really cheap Amazon special HDMI extension cable which does work. So go figure. I really don't understand it. But neither of those cables worked with my 970. So it really is a complicated thing trying to get the extensions to work with an Oculus Rift. It's a bit of a pain in the backside, I've got to say. Anyway, guys, I certainly have not got enough time to do another stage, but hopefully I've given you a good taster of what
LOL.
Dakar 18 is all about. And certainly some of you have, I think, changed your opinions on what the game is all about. Now, I just want to say, and I'll try and address this tomorrow, that the motorbikes in the game are highly regarded as awful, like the worst bit of the game. A lot of those reviews came out very early. I don't know if it's changed. I know there has been an update on the bikes, so we'll have a look at that tomorrow and just see if that's an issue or not.
It's what us techs call as a dark art.
It's a dark art for sure, yeah. No kidding. So tomorrow, yeah, we'll look at some other stuff. We'll rank up
Can't
the
you use
difficulty.
DisplayPort cable?
Can you use a DisplayPort cable? Yeah, somebody has said that you can as a solution. Potentially it does work. I don't think I tried it, but I don't need to now. I've got a system that works.
Thanks for
and I'm
the
quite
stream,
happy with
Sim, and
that.
I'll catch you next time around.
Andrew, thank you for joining me for the stream. I really appreciate it, especially your input and feedback. That means a huge amount, and just makes the whole experience a lot better, not just for me, but for everybody, I hope. Guys, hopefully the stream was pretty clean today.
Thanks, Sim. Great to finally catch a live stream.
What was this game called? This game is called Dakar 18. I think it's currently going to cost you hopefully I haven't just lost all that progress I've made. At the moment I think it costs £44 on Steam. Let me just double check that.
Looks like Twitch chat's falling over. I'm talking to myself, lol.
Looks like your Twitch chat's falling over. I'm talking to myself. Well,
Awesome.
I can still hear you.
Thanks for the feedback, mate. I'll try to be here for tomorrow's stream.
Brilliant, Nicholas. I appreciate that. Thank you. Guys, $39.99 it is on Steam at the moment. That's not to say you can't find it cheaper elsewhere. I don't work for Steam. I don't get any compensation if you buy it from Steam. But I do get a small kickback if you buy the game from CD Keys on the link provided in the description of my YouTube videos, which I can't give to you right now because I don't have it handy. So if you are considering buying it and you want to support us as a channel, you can buy it via that link, and we get, I don't know, maybe £2 or £3 off of our next purchase, which just helps me get more games like this and review them for you and just let you have a good look at them. So maybe consider doing that if you want to. Absolutely don't mind if you do. Well, I appreciate it if you do, but I don't mind if you don't. Oh, God, I hate doing that stuff. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up now.
Fine.
A little bit early than usual, but I tell you what, my bum is completely gone numb, and I need to get up and walk around a little bit. That was a lot of fun. Dakar 18 in the truck. Brilliant. On a G29. Brilliant. I really enjoyed that. I can't wait to play again tomorrow. Hopefully you'll come and join me. Take care of yourselves, guys. I'm going to put the holding page up for a bit and then end the stream. But thank you all. Massively appreciate it. Take care. Bye now.